What's up, people? Got another Throwback Thursday video for you here on Franchise Play Sports, baby. This is Need for Speed Most Wanted. This is a throwback, technically, by my criteria, but it's not an immense throwback. This came out in 2012, so it hasn't actually even been out 2 years yet. If if you're familiar with the Need for Speed Most Wanted series, and you kind of know what to expect in case any event you haven't played this game, you get the opportunity to pick whether or not you're going to be a racer or a cop, and it's a different gameplay for that. But then, of course, they have some split screen stuff as well as some online capabilities that made this one a little bit different, but in my opinion, not enough different. It's kind of like, unfortunately, Need for Speed got to a point where it was like, if you play one, then you pretty much have played them all. They got a couple little tweaks here and there, but for the most part, it's not a huge difference here. So here's some of the cars you get an opportunity to choose from. Starting off, you don't get a chance to pick from that many, early. So you gotta kind of just take what's there. And they tried to get a little bit more technical with actually the handling of the car, but not really enough in my opinion. But, so let's see. It does have some cool cutscenes though. And this is the beginning of one of them here, the first one early on when you first kind of start this little career jump.
How's your car running?
Paper. I need your pink slip. He's dangerous. Be careful. He'll swat paint if he has to.
First, I'm gonna take your ride, then I'm gonna take your girl. Get ready for that.
Stay focused. He's rolling on a lot of power, so wait for him to shift first.
There you go. I'll do what you said, no problem. So I can, and then the filters and stuff that they use on the cutscenes. I think the first time they did this was in Need for Speed Carbon, which was a while back. So I have been somewhat familiar with the series.
Report at least one mobile code 6 driver followed by police. I need all available units on this. Get them going code 3.
All right, so they kind of fling you a little bit into the action. All right, so it probably may have been a little bit cooler if they'd allowed you to actually play during this scene, but they didn't. So, but they throw you right out here now. It's just you and the one other car, and so now you're in the head-to-head race after the cops weren't able to stop you from doing your street racing. Here we go. Now, of course, one of the main things I always look for, especially in these type of speed racing games, is that element or feeling of speed. I want to feel like my car is like low flying, and of course, you do get that here. So, I do like that, but like I said, I just don't know whether or not there's enough differences, different stuff in this game to make it like really, even worth looking up, in case you didn't get it before, getting it out of the bargain bin or whatever, used game at GameStop. Depends on how much it was going for, and it also depends on how much you do actually like the Need for Speed series. If you're like, can kind of like take it or leave it and really need a hot version in order to flip it, like kind of the way I am, if you haven't played this one, this is probably not going to be the one that's going to convince you to go that route. You may actually even be wondering, like, how do I pick like which game I'm gonna hit on on Throwback Thursday? Well, honestly, I got a list, right? And I try to, like I said last week, try to vary it out between sports. And this one's kind of shaky calling it a sport, but I always do. So that's really kind of how I do it. So I can't even know what's going to happen next week, but I kind of try to keep it a surprise. Here's another one of them cool cinema screens. Like I said, don't say the game completely or whatever, but it does give you something kind of cool.
Oh man, did you pick the wrong street to run on? This is a nice car. Gauges, shifter, wheel. Is this all for show, or is there something more I should know about?
I'd like to take a little peek under the hood.
Good idea. Let me tell you what's about to happen. We're gonna take your car, tear it apart, and see if it's street legal. You know, I'd lay odds that it ain't. Get a record out here.
Looks like your racing days are over.
Let me let you in on a little secret. Street racing in Rockport is finished. I've got a beautiful little surprise that's gonna tear you guys apart from the inside out. Now get out of the car.
Attention Patrol Division. Units are in a high-speed pursuit of multiple vehicles, aggressively evading custody. Units in the area directed to clear and head up to provide cover.
Next time, you won't be so lucky. Nice pinstripe.
So, like I said, that was one of the really cool cinema screens. You know what I would like to see, though? I would love to see some of the other games. You know, racing games, one of the biggest problems is they lack personality. This is like one of the best ways to add some of that to the whole mix. So I do appreciate, you know, that aspect of the game. Here we are going into another race with I think it's a Beamer, I guess. Yeah. And you saw the dude give me the, you know, key to car. Man, that was kind of bogus. That sound just made my skin crawl. It actually happened to me once though. Girl keyed my car because I told her I guess it was kind of my fault, but I don't really think she had to key my car. But she asked me to come help her paint her apartment, and I told her I would, and I didn't go. And the next day, she came up to my job. She came up to my job and keyed my joint in the parking lot. People in the parking lot claim they didn't see nothing. Man, it was bogus. Big, long, nasty scratch in the side of my car. I wanted to elbow her on the forehead, but I don't hit women, so I just looked at her real mean. I didn't press charges or nothing. I probably should have, but that's whatever. I'm flying right now on Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm on fire. Not anymore, because if you hit the wall like that, that ruins your momentum. So you can obviously see the skill level. I don't know what's going on with this car that I was racing it so far back. I've crashed and come to a complete stop, and he couldn't catch up. So it is what it is. Making a mess out here on these streets. That looks a lot like Chicago right there. I don't know. Probably is, but that's what it looks like. That is going to just about do it for this episode of Throwback Thursdays. Appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for subscribing if you have already. If you haven't, please do. Peace.